Hello, creative friends. I'm Cheryl, and this is the Stamping Squad. If you're already a subscriber, thanks for tuning in today. And if you're finding us for the first time, a special welcome to you. I hope you will subscribe and click the button for notifications so you'll know when new videos go up. So this is the card we're going to be making today. I am going to be using a little bit different paper, so we mix it up just a little bit, but this is the layout, and we are going to be using the Hippest Hippos dies and the Hippest Hippos stamp set, and they are adorable. Look at these cute hippos. I love them. I love them so much. And so you say, where can I get those dies and the stamp set? And the answer is you get them from the SALE-a-bration brochure. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, SALE-a-bration happens a couple times a year, and you can earn free products with your other product purchases. So the stamp set and the die set can be earned for free with your orders. So I thought I would go ahead and pull out my sets and create a card for you today. All right, let me show you the different pieces that you're gonna need. Now this card has a lot of layers. It's not difficult, but it does have a lot of layers, so there's gonna be a lot of pieces here. The first, we need the card base. And this is 5.5 inches by 6.25 inches. And I think it's Blushing Bride. Let me look real quick. It is, yes, it is Blushing Bride. That's what I'm using today. And this is scored at 2 inches. All right, so 5.5 by 6.25, scored at 2. Then we're also gonna need a piece of cardstock. I'm using Melon Mambo, and it's 4 inches by 5.25 inches. Then we need a piece of white cardstock. This is 3.75 by 5. Then we're going to need another piece of cardstock, 3.5 by 4.75. Then we need a strip of cardstock that is 1.75 by 5.25. A strip of designer series paper that is 1.5 by 5 inches. And finally, a piece of designer series paper that is 2.5 inches by 2.75. So we're going to be putting together lots of layers that really gives this card a lot of dimension and a lot of interest. So those are the things I'm using today. I'm actually using some paper from the set Abstract Beauty, which has now retired. But the great things about this stamp set is you can use any paper or any cardstock that you have. So that makes it really versatile. Okay, let's start off by stamping our hippo. So I've just got a piece of white cardstock here. And actually I'm gonna bring in a little piece of scrap paper. There we go. And I'm going to be using this hippo die, the little ballerina. She is so cute. She's just precious. And to do that, I'm just going to use my Memento Tuxedo black ink. So let me get my stamp inked up here. And I'm going to do a test run. Well, actually, that looks pretty good. I haven't used this stamp today, so let's just give it a try and see if it works out for us. Hold that in place for just a moment, then straight up. There she is. Looks good to me. All right, we're going to go with that. Let me set this aside for just a minute. And so the next thing with this stamp is to color it. So what I have been using for my hippos is the, let's see, the light and the dark gray granite. That's for their body. Then I've been using for the tummy the SU Stampin' Up 1000. This is from the Natural Tones collection of the Stampin' Up blends, and so it's in the light. Let's see, they come 2 in a pack, so it's in the light pack of the Natural Tones. You can find those in the annual catalog. And then for her tutu, I used light and dark Melon Mambo. So those are the colors. that I use to do my hippo. And I'm not going to have you watch me color because you probably know how to color. So let me just grab my little hippo here. Here she is. She's all colored. And look, she's actually already die cut out. Let me show you that die. So what I did, after I stamped her, I colored her. And then I used this die and ran it through my die cut and emboss machine. And there is what we end up with. So there are dies that fit all three of the hippos. And let me just show you what the other two look like. There's a little running, I call him the running hippo. Can you see? So cute. And also this little hippo winking and with the little flower. And I made this one a girl because I painted her nails pink. So they're super adorable. Another thing I did was I used this die that is in that die set, little flowers. And for our project today, I die cut out some little melon Mambo flowers that we will use when we put our card together. Okay, so let's start assembling some things. I'm just going to set that aside for just a minute. And actually, before we do that, I wanted to tell you this piece of cardstock that was the 3.5 by 4 3/4. What I did was I took this and I took this die from the Scalloped Contours die. That's in the annual catalog as well. And I die cut out a piece. And so let me show you what that looks like. Here it is. There's the piece die cut out. And then I don't know if you can see, there's a score line here. I scored it at, I believe that's 1 1/4. Let me see here. Let me grab my ruler for you. And we'll just make sure. But I think that's scored at 1 1/4. Yes, 1 1/4. Okay. So that's how that piece works. Now let's put some stuff together. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to grab this piece of cardstock and this piece of designer series paper and adhere them together. And I'm going to use liquid glue today. My favorite adhesive. Uh-oh, that wasn't good, was it? I don't think we did anything too terrible there. There we go. So I can see that there's a tiny bit of glue right here. And at the end, let me see if I can remember to show you what I do to address that. Because once in a while we do get a little dot of glue somewhere where we didn't want it to be. So it's fixable, it's fixable. All right, so we've got that piece. Now, let me see. I'm going to take this piece that was the 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to take my die cut piece here. I'm going to use my foam folder and get a good crease on this. Let's see, where's my foam folder? There it is. I have so much stuff out today. I've been working on a lot of projects. I have workshop this evening. Lots going on. All fun stuff, all good stuff. All right, and what I want to do now is glue this on here. So that's going to be my little flap. So let me put some glue on here. And the liquid glue is really strong. So this will hold, this will work. Even if people are opening and closing this flap, it will be fine. So let me push that down on there, good. And sometimes I just like to use my foam folder to press down my glued pieces just to make sure they get stuck on there really good. Okay, we've got that piece. And now I am going to pull over here my card base. And remember, it was scored at 2 inches. So let's get, actually, I'm gonna move that over for a minute. Let's get this burnished. Oh, and you know what? I'm just noticing, I told you what the dimensions of this were, but I didn't cut it right. Isn't that fantastic? Okay, hold on. Let me grab my cutter. All right, so this is this is what happens when you have too many projects going at one time. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let me pull out. Here's the dimensions: 5.5 by 6 1/4, and then scored at 2. So this was really supposed to be 6 1/4 inches long. So let's fix that. 6 1/4. Well, it'd be good if I actually put it at 6 1/4. 6 1/4. There we go. 6 1/4. Now, let me get this out of the way. That's one of the great things about a paper cutter. It's got this nice arm. So if you don't need it, if you're cutting small things, you don't have to pull it out. But if you have a longer piece, it goes all the way out to 17 inches. So if you're a scrapbooker and you use large pieces of paper, it works great. Okay, this makes more sense. Now, I'm gonna take this and adhere it on here. So let's grab that liquid glue again. And let's put this on right here. There we go. I'm so excited about SALE-a-bration. This is, what's today? Today is July 11th, 2022. SALE-a-bration goes all this month and also all of August. So from now to the end of August, when you're placing product orders at $50 or $100, you get to choose from some things in that SALE-a-bration brochure that you get for free. It's such a great deal. SALE-a-bration is my favorite. All right, we're still just putting things together here, getting some of these layers adhered. There we go, that's on good. Just make sure this is on good. Great, and you know what? This is dried a little bit, so let me just show you what I do when I have a little bit of glue that I don't want on there. So I did let it dry just a little, and this is an adhesive eraser. You can get these on Amazon, and so you just take it and kind of rub across here, and it will pick up the glue or whatever is sticky on there, and it's all gone. It's all gone. Perfect. So you've got to have one of those. If you don't have one, jump on Amazon, grab an adhesive eraser. Okay, now let's see. Let's go ahead and put this last piece of designer series paper on. Let's see, put that aside. We can get rid of that. And it's going to go right here. Can you see how it's coming together? And, you know, I chose to use the front and back side of this designer series paper, but you could do whatever you like. If you wanted to use the same at the top here and the bottom so it matches, that would surely work. Okay, there we go. Now, where's my little girl? There she is. She's gonna be so cute. So I'm gonna put her on here, and I think I'm gonna use dimensionals. Let me grab those. There we go. So these are just little foam. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. It's a hexagon, little foam hexagons. And if you use them, they're self-adhesive. They have adhesive on both sides. So you can use these to create a little dimension in your project. And in this case, we're kind of popping up our little ballerina. So she's gonna go here, and then let me grab these Remember these that we had at the beginning? These die-cut flowers. I also want to put these on, so I'm gonna put her a little bit over this direction, and then I'm gonna put these around her. All right, so let's grab her and take these dimensionals off. There we go. And she is on her toe. So let's just put her right about here. This is so adorable. Okay, now let's put our little flowers on, and I'm just putting like a little tiny dab of glue in the middle. I'm gonna squeeze just a little bit just to get a little dab like that, and then I'm kind of gonna just spread it around because we don't want a whole bunch of glue for this, because we don't want it oozing out all over the place. So let me put this one right here. Every ballerina should have little flowers all around her. So this is a tiny one. Again, I'm just gonna put a little tiny bit of glue in the middle and then just kind of spread it a little bit. And let's put this one right here. And then I'm gonna use another of the small ones. And tiny bit of glue, spread it around. There we go. And let's see, let's put this one right here. That's fun. I'm gonna move it just a little bit. There we go. Well, that is super fun. Now, we're almost done. Remember this piece? White cardstock, 3 3/4 by 5. This is the inside of our card. It's going to be put right in here like this. And I do want to stamp a sentiment on it. So I've got this one, and it says, "You're always on point." How adorable. And I'm just gonna put it right in here, kind of at an angle. So let's grab that black ink again. Ink this up. Okay, that looks pretty good. And I just laid it in there so I can kind of see where I want to put my sentiment. And I think I'm going to go for it right here. So let me hold that down for just a minute. And there it is. Now, I've still got one flower left, so let's put this flower on here. So we are going to glue that one on right there. So a little bit, just a little bit of glue. There we go. Spread it around. And put it right there. Perfect. That is great. Oh, now we can glue this to the inside. Let me move the ink pad out of the way so I don't end up with black fingers from sticking my fingers in the ink pad. Have you ever done that? I've done it more than once. I've done it quite a bit, actually. Let me move that out of the way. There we go. I'm going to flip it over and rub on the back. When I have that white cardstock like that, I kind of hesitate to rub my fingers on it just in case there's a little smudge of something or maybe some oil on my hands. I don't want to get that on my white cardstock. There she is. Now, let's make her fancy. Let's just make her a little bit fancy. I am going to use my Wink Castella, and I am going to put a little Wink Castella on her tutu. Now, unfortunately, the Wink Castella doesn't come through very well on the camera, so you might not be able to see it, but it gives a little shimmer to wherever you use it. So, not sure if you can see that, but now her tutu has a little bit of shimmer to it. Let's do one more thing. Let's add a rhinestone jewel. And I'm going to put it right here in the middle of this flower. So I'm going to use my take your pick tool and put it right there in the middle of that flower. Press it down. And that's it. Our little ballerina, you're always on point. What a precious card. You have plenty of room that you can write like here, all right? You don't want to write over here, but you can write here and then all the way across that's covered here. If you needed more room to write your message, you could always put a piece of white cardstock down here, all right? So you've got plenty of room to write your very nice message. And I don't know if you can see on this, I also gave her pink nails. Just a little detail there to make it very special. Okay, so what I want to show you now are a few other cards. Now this is the one that I made in the beginning, or I showed in the beginning. It was one that says, "You're so hip." So adorable. And I'm just gonna put it right there. And I have a couple more. Hold on. I have this one, "Love You a Ton." And one more, "You're So Hip" again. And look at the die cuts for the goggles and the snorkel. How adorable is that? You see I used all different kinds of paper. You can use whatever you have that will coordinate with the cardstock that you want to use. Oh, let me move these down a little bit so you can see them. But there you have it, the Hippest Hippos. I hope that you'll place an order so that you can get these. I know you're going to have a lot of fun using them, and coloring. Coloring is super fun. So again, thank you for stopping by. If you don't already have a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. So send me a message or visit my website. All the details for this project, the measurements, the things I used are all down in the description. So I hope that you'll hit the like button. I hope you'll subscribe. I hope you'll hit the notifications button so you'll know when to meet me right back here. All right. I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.